The Codex of Action. Stop planning your life and start living it. Most people are stuck in the library of life, reading about the map instead of walking the path. This ends now. You have been lied to. You have been sold a fantasy that preparation leads to success. That more knowledge, more planning, more thinking will get you where you want to be. It is a comfortable lie, and it is killing your potential. This book is not another theory. This is the demolition of the someday myth and the construction of your new reality, starting today. Your life of constant planning and zero execution ends the moment you finish this sentence. Press play. The first chapter begins now. Chapter 1. The paralysis of preparation. You are in a library. A vast, endless library. It contains every map, every guide, every theory ever written on how to live a remarkable life. You have spent years here, decades. You've read the maps for success. You've memorized the theories of confidence. You've studied the blueprints for wealth and relationships. You know every route, every potential pitfall, every landmark of achievement, but you have never left the library. You are lost in the paralysis of preparation. And it is the most comfortable, most respectable form of self-sabotage there is. This ends today. Let's break the first and most dangerous lie you tell yourself. The ready myth. You believe you need permission. You believe you need a perfect plan. You believe you need one more course, one more certification, one more piece of data before you can begin. This is the lie. The entrepreneur who spends 5 years perfecting his business plan but never launches. He's a librarian, not a pioneer. The writer who has 3 novels outlined in exquisite detail but has never written past chapter 1. She is a cartographer, not an author. They are waiting for a feeling of readiness, a feeling of total confidence. Listen to me. That feeling is a myth. It is a ghost. You will never catch it. You will never be ready. Start anyway. You think the experts were ready? They were terrified. You think the masters had a perfect plan? Their plans were garbage, thrown together and corrected in the field. They understood the fundamental law. You cannot think your way into a new life. You can only act your way into one. You are waiting for a guarantee of success before you take the first step. There are no guarantees. There is only action. You will never be ready.
Start anyway. Now, let's talk about the bill that comes due while you're sitting in your library, reading your maps.
The bill for inaction, the cost of delay. We quantify everything in our society, except the most expensive thing, the cost of not acting. It's a silent tax on your soul, and you pay it every single day you stay safe. What is the price tag? First, lost opportunities. That business idea you had 2 years ago, someone else is doing it now. That connection you didn't make, that door is now closed. Opportunities have a shelf life, and yours is rotting while you prepare. But the greater cost is internal. It's the atrophy of your own confidence. With every day you don't act, you send a subconscious message to yourself. I am not capable. I am not worthy. I need more. This quiet erosion is what leads to the third cost, a deep, quiet resentment. A resentment for the life you see others living, a resentment that slowly turns into a cynicism that poisons everything. Remember this. Burn it into your mind. The price of inaction is always higher than the cost of a mistake. A mistake is feedback. It's data. It's a lesson that moves you forward. Inaction is nothing. It is a void. It is a zero. It gives you nothing but regret. The failed product launch teaches you about the market. The rejected manuscript teaches you about storytelling. The awkward conversation teaches you about communication. Sitting in your chair, preparing, teaches you nothing but how to be a better sitter. The price of inaction is always higher than the cost of a mistake. This leads us to the antidote. The only cure for the disease of overthinking. Action as the antidote to fear. You have it backwards. You believe the sequence is clarity, confidence, action. You are wrong. Dead wrong. The real, proven, undeniable sequence is action, clarity, confidence. You don't think your way into being brave. You act your way into it. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision that something else is more important than fear. And that decision is not a thought. It is an action, a physical movement, sending the email, making the call, publishing the post. Hitting the launch button. Action precedes clarity. Always. You want clarity on your business idea? Launch a minimal version and see what happens. You want clarity on your relationship? Have the difficult conversation. You want clarity on your fitness journey? Go for the first run. The map is not in the library. The map is drawn with every step you take into the unknown. Action generates real-time, real-world data that no amount of planning can ever provide. Action precedes clarity. Always. Waiting for confidence is like waiting for a car's engine to start making noise before you turn the key. It doesn't work that way. The engine makes noise. It gains confidence after you turn the key. You turn the key through action. You take the step, and the confidence to take the next step appears only after the first one is complete. This is the secret. Action is the generator of confidence, not the other way around. Action precedes clarity. Always. So here is the summary of your prison sentence. You wait to be ready. You never will be. You delay, accruing a massive debt of lost potential and self-respect. You wait for fear to subside, not realizing that action is the only thing that can conquer it. The library is burning. The maps are ash. Your only way out is to move. You will never be ready. Start anyway. The price of inaction is always higher than the cost of a mistake. Action precedes clarity. Always. Your life of preparation is over. The era of action begins now, and it starts by understanding the one command that cuts through all noise. The next chapter. Note 2. Execute, don't debate, silence. That noise in your head? The committee meeting that never ends? The endless debate about the pros and cons, the what-ifs, the maybes? That is the sound of your potential being metabolized into fear. You are the defendant, the prosecutor, the judge, and the jury in a courtroom where the only crime is action. And you are always found guilty. It's time to adjourn the court, permanently. Analysis. Paralysis is a disease. Let's call it what it is. It's not you being thorough. It's not you being careful. It is a sickness of the will. A sophisticated form of self-sabotage. You dress it up as intellectual diligence, but it's just a clever disguise for the fear of being judged. The fear of failing and having that failure confirm your deepest insecurity, that you weren't good enough. You think you're weighing options. You're not. You are delaying the moment of truth where your idea meets reality. You are hiding. And every minute you spend in that debate, you are decaying. Your motivation decays. Your opportunity decays. Your courage decays. Debating is delaying. Executing is evolving. The goal is not to make the perfect choice. The goal is to make a choice and then make it perfect through action. You don't find the right path by staring at the crossroads. You pick a direction and you start walking. The path reveals itself to those who are moving, not to those who are memorizing the map. Remember this. Sear it into your mind. Debating is delaying. Executing is evolving. So how do you break the cycle? How do you shut down the committee? The 5-second rule to obliteration. You have a tiny critical window between the impulse to act and your brain's sophisticated security system kicking in to shut it down. It's about 5 seconds long. Your job is to hijack that window. The rule is simple. The moment you have an instinct to do something that aligns with your goals, to get out of bed, to start writing, to send that email, to make that call, you launch a mental countdown, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you physically move. You swing your legs out of bed. Your fingers hit the keyboard. You hit send. You don't think. You don't feel. You become a launch sequence. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Move. If you don't move within those 5 seconds, your brain will bomb you with excuses, rationalizations, and nightmare scenarios. It will protect you from the perceived danger of action. You must act faster than your fear can react. This isn't about motivation. This is about programming. It's a brute force override of your own hesitation. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, move. This rule turns you from a passive thinker into an active force. It transfers power from your mind, which is scared, to your body, which is capable. Your body doesn't debate. It acts, so use it. From now on, your internal mantra for initiation is just 5 words. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, move. Once you're in motion, you face the next enemy. The desire for it to be perfect. Embrace the good enough. Perfectionism is the ego's last stand. It's the final defense mechanism your fear uses to stop you from finishing. Because if it's not perfect, you can't be fully judged, right? You can always hide behind, well, it wasn't my best work. This is a coward's refuge. Look at the most successful tech companies. They don't wait for the perfect product. They launch the minimum viable product, a basic, functional, often flawed version. They get it to market. They get feedback. They iterate. The product evolves through execution, not through endless, isolated refinement. Look at the greatest writers. They all talk about the shitty first draft. They don't wait for the perfect sentence to flow from their pen. They vomit the idea onto the page, however messy it is. Then, and only then, do they clean it up. The masterpiece comes from editing the mess, not from dreaming of the perfect opening line. You must adopt this mindset. Your first attempt, your first version, your first draft does not need to be perfect. It needs to exist. It needs to be done. Done is better than perfect. Every single time, a finished, good enough project that exists in the world is infinitely more valuable than a perfect one that exists only in your imagination. One generates results, feedback, and momentum. The other generates nothing but the quiet agony of unrealized potential. Your standard must shift from "is it perfect" to "is it live?" Done is better than perfect, every single time. So here is the new protocol. When the debate begins in your mind, you recognize it as the disease it is. Debating is delaying. Executing is evolving. When you feel the resistance to start, you initiate the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, move. When the voice of perfectionism whispers that it's not ready, you shout it down with the truth. Done is better than perfect. Every single time, you have adjourned the court of endless debate. You are now a force of execution. But execution requires a specific environment to thrive. It requires you to step out of the comfortable and into the transformative. The next chapter is where we build that environment. Chapter 3, your comfort zone is a cage. That feeling you call comfort, that familiar routine, that predictable pace, that warm, drowsy stillness. You think it's safety. You think it's peace. You are wrong. It is a cage, a prison with padded walls, and you are the lone prisoner, also acting as your own warden. Today we expose the lie. Today we spring the trap, the illusion of safety. The comfort zone does not keep you safe. It keeps you small. It is a controlled environment designed to eliminate risk, but in doing so, it systematically eliminates your growth, your strength, and your potential. There is no danger in the cage, true, but there is no life either. There is only existence. Think of a muscle. Leave it alone. Never stress it, never challenge it, and it doesn't stay the same. It atrophies. It weakens. It diminishes. Your mind, your spirit, your capabilities, they are no different. Stasis is an illusion. You are not designed to stand still. You are designed to adapt, and adaptation requires stress. Your comfort zone is expanding or contracting. There is no stasis. Every day you spend within those familiar walls, the walls move inward, just a little. The world outside seems a little bigger, a little more frightening. Your dreams seem a little more distant. You are not being kept safe from failure. You are being kept from your future self. You have a choice. to press against the walls, or to be crushed by them. Your comfort zone is expanding or contracting. There is no stasis. This brings us to the greatest lie sold to the modern aspiring individual, the cult of balance. Seek discomfort, not balance. You are told to seek balance, to find a happy equilibrium between your ambitions and your comfort. This is poison. Balance is the state of zero growth. It is the pendulum at rest. True, transformative growth does not happen in a state of balance. It happens in a state of intentional imbalance, in a state of challenge, of strain, of leaning so far forward that you are forced to step forward to avoid falling. The athlete breaking a personal record is not in balance. They are in a state of extreme focused strain. The entrepreneur building a company is not in balance. They are all in, obsessed, off-kilter. The artist creating a masterpiece is not in balance. They are consumed. You do not change by remaining centered. You change by pushing yourself off-center. If it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. Stop trying to balance your desire for a remarkable life with your attachment to a comfortable one. They are mutually exclusive. You cannot have both. The pursuit of balance is just a more sophisticated version of hiding in the cage. It's giving yourself permission to stay small while pretending you're being healthy. No. Reject it. Embrace the grind. Seek the friction. Chase the feeling of being in over your head. That is where you learn to swim. If it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. This is not a philosophy to ponder. It is a practice to live. It requires a system. The Daily Discomfort Protocol. From this day forward, you will institute a new non-negotiable rule. Every single day you will seek out and execute one intentionally uncomfortable action. This is not optional. This is your new hygiene. Brushing your teeth for your character. This action must be physical or social proof that you are the one in charge. It is a direct command to your subconscious that the cage no longer rules you. What does this look like? It is the difficult conversation you've been avoiding. It is the cold shower that jolts your system awake. It is the sales call you're afraid to make. It is introducing yourself to a stranger. It is volunteering for a project that terrifies you. It is publishing the idea you think is stupid. This is not about grand, heroic gestures. This is about the daily, consistent withdrawal from the bank of comfort. It's a small, deliberate crack in the walls of your prison, every single day. Make discomfort your daily currency. You do not wait for discomfort to find you. You go hunting for it. You schedule it. You ritualize it. First thing in the morning, you do your one uncomfortable thing. Get it done. Let the victory echo through the rest of your day. Let every subsequent decision be made by the person who already proved their courage today. This practice rewires your identity. You are no longer someone who seeks comfort. You are someone who seeks growth. And you pay for that growth with daily deposits of discomfort. Make discomfort your daily currency. So let's be clear, the cage is not safe. It is shrinking. Your comfort zone is expanding or contracting. There is no stasis. Balance is the enemy. Challenge is the catalyst. If it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. And your method is simple, brutal, and effective. One action every day. Make discomfort your daily currency. You have stepped out of the cage. You are breathing the sharp, clean air of uncertainty. But this new world has its own traps. The biggest one is the desire to perform for an audience, to prove you're out instead of just being out. The next chapter dismantles that performance. Chapter 4, stop proving, start doing that applause you're chasing. Those likes, those comments, that external validation you use as a report card for your worth. It is a drug, and you are an addict. You have confused the performance of success with the reality of it. You are so busy curating the highlight reel, you forgot to live the game. It is time to step off the stage and step onto the battlefield. The performance trap. We live in the age of the performance. Social media has turned life into a stage, and you are the actor, desperately reading the lines you think the audience wants to hear. You are not building a business. You are performing entrepreneurship. You are not getting fit. You are performing wellness. You are not living a life. You are building a brand. And a brand is just a facade, a polished shell empty of substance. This is the trap. You start making decisions based on how they will look, not on what they will do. You choose the path that provides the best content, not the most growth. You prioritize the appearance of effort over the reality of results. You must ask yourself with brutal honesty, are you building a life or building a resume? A resume is a document designed to impress strangers. A life is a lived experience built on authentic struggle and real achievement. One is for show. The other is for substance. You are sacrificing the substance of your journey for the show of it. This is a bankrupt trade. Stop performing. Start producing. Are you building a life or building a resume? The way out of this trap is not to perform less. It is to disappear from the stage entirely. Silent action, loud results. There is immense power in silence, in secrecy, in the deep, focused work that happens away from the spotlight. The world's loudest people are often its most insecure, shouting to fill the void where their accomplishments should be. The truly powerful, they are too busy building to make noise. Consider the master craftsman in a quiet workshop. She isn't live streaming her every chisel stroke. She isn't posting inspirational quotes about woodworking. She is focused. Her hands are dirty. Her progress is slow, measurable, and real. Then one day she reveals her work, a masterpiece that needs no explanation, no filter, no sales pitch. The work itself thunders. Now consider the loud influencer on the street shouting about his latest disruption. All noise, no craft. All talk, no tangible result. Your mission is to become the craftsman. Work in silence. Let success be your only noise. This means stopping the premature celebration. Stop announcing your goals before you've achieved them. That dopamine hit you get from announcing a plan tricks your brain into feeling like it's already done. It steals the energy you need to actually do it. Keep your plans secret. Keep your efforts private. Let the final product, the undeniable result, be the first and only thing the world sees. Work in silence. Let success be your only noise. To sustain this, you need a new source of fuel. You must change your engine. Internal validation is your engine. You have been running on external validation. The applause meter, the follower count. The good jobs, and this is a faulty, unpredictable fuel source. It puts your sense of self-worth in the hands of others, and others are fickle, distracted, and often wrong. You must rip out that engine and install a new one. Internal validation. The deep, quiet, unshakable satisfaction that comes from knowing you faced a challenge and overcame it. From knowing you did what you said you would do, even when no one was watching. This satisfaction is not a fleeting emotion. It is a core truth. It is the bedrock of your character. The only approval you need is your own. How do you measure this? You create a personal scorecard. At the end of each day, you do not ask, how many likes did I get? You ask, did I do the hard thing I was avoiding? Did I make tangible progress on my most important goal? Did I honor my word to myself? A yes to these questions is your fuel, that feeling of looking in the mirror and respecting the person staring back. That is your reward. The only approval you need is your own. This is the ultimate shift. From actor to architect, from performer to pioneer, you are not here to put on a show for a transient audience. You are here to build something real, something lasting, something that matters to you. Your validation comes from the integrity of your effort, not the volume of the applause. The only approval you need is your own, so let's be clear. The performance is a trap that trades substance for show. You must constantly ask, are you building a life or building a resume? The way out is through focused, silent work. Work in silence. Let success be your only noise, and the fuel for this journey must come from within. The only approval you need is your own. You have stopped performing. You have started building. But on this path, you will face setbacks. You will make mistakes. The world will call this failure. You must learn the true name for it. The next chapter reframes everything. Chapter 5. Failure is data, not destiny. You just heard it. The crash. The project that flopped. The conversation that exploded. The launch that failed. In that moment, your entire identity contracts. You feel it in your gut. The shame. The embarrassment. The voice that whispers, "I knew you weren't good enough." That voice is a liar. That feeling is a fossil. It is an ancient, useless program running in the background of your mind. Today we delete it. Today we install a new operating system, reframing the F word. You have been taught that failure is a verdict, a final judgment on your capabilities. It is not. Failure is an event, not a person. It is a result, not an identity. The moment you separate what happened from who you are, you become unstoppable. You must systematically destroy the emotional stigma you've attached to the word. You do this through a simple, brutal redefinition. Failure is nothing more than feedback. It is data, pure, unemotional, incredibly valuable data. A scientist running an experiment doesn't cry when a hypothesis is disproven. They get excited. They just learned what doesn't work, which is one step closer to what does. You are that scientist. Your life is the laboratory. There is no failure, only feedback. That business that didn't work, it wasn't a failure. It was a market research report you paid for with your time and effort. That rejected application, it wasn't a rejection. It was feedback on your presentation. That awkward social misstep, it was data on human interaction. Stop taking the data personally. Start analyzing it professionally. There is no failure, only feedback. But to use this data, you need a protocol. You cannot let the emotion back in. The post-mortem protocol. When a setback occurs, you do not get to feel sorry for yourself. You do not get to wallow. You call a meeting with one person, yourself. And you conduct a non-emotional 3-step post-mortem. This is a forensic analysis, not a funeral. Step 1. What happened? State the facts, and only the facts. I sent 100 emails and got 3 replies. Not, I failed at marketing. The client said no because of the price. Not, I'm a terrible salesperson. Facts are your friends. Emotions are your enemies. Step 2. What did I learn? This is where you extract the gold. I learned that my target audience responds better to video than I learned that my pricing model needs a lower entry point. I learned that I need to practice handling objections. The lesson is the prize. Extract the lesson. Discard the shame. Step 3. What do I adjust? This is the most critical step. Based on the data, what one change will you make in your next action? I will create a 1-minute video. Pitch. I will introduce a tiered pricing system. I will role-play 3 common objections. Then you execute immediately. You take the data and you use it to recalibrate your very next move. Extract the lesson. Discard the shame. This protocol transforms you from a victim of circumstance into a master of your own methodology. Shame is a useless emotion. It paralyzes you. Data is power. It propels you forward. Your only job is to extract the lesson. Discard the shame. This entire process requires a fundamental shift in who you believe you are. The unbeatable mindset. You are not a martyr seeking approval. You are a scientist running experiments. The martyr takes every setback as a personal judgment. The scientist takes every result as a data point. This mindset makes you fearless. Why? Because there is no bad outcome. There are only informative outcomes. When you adopt the scientist's mindset, you detach your ego from the result. Your goal is not to be right or to succeed on the first try. Your goal is to discover what is true, to find what works. This requires a relentless curiosity and a complete absence of personal attachment. You stop asking, Does this make me look good? And start asking, what does this teach me? You only lose when you stop experimenting. Think of every attempt, every launch, every conversation as an experiment. You are testing a variable, a message, a product, an approach. Some experiments will yield the result you want. Most will not, but each one narrows the field. Each one gets you closer to the breakthrough. The person who runs 1,000 experiments will inevitably succeed more than the person who ran one and quit after the first unexpected result. You only lose when you stop experimenting. This is the ultimate freedom. You are no longer trying to avoid failure. You are actively seeking data. You are hunting for feedback. You welcome the unexpected result because it is the most valuable teacher you have. You are unbeatable because you cannot be discouraged. You are only ever learning. You only lose when you stop experimenting. So let's be clear. Failure is not a verdict. It is information. There is no failure, only feedback. Your response is a clinical 3-step protocol. Extract the lesson. Discard the shame. Your identity is that of a relentless scientist. You only lose when you stop experimenting. You have removed the stigma. You have embraced the data. Now you must learn to use this feedback to build unstoppable velocity. The next chapter is about creating a force that carries you forward. Chapter 6. The Momentum. Mandate you are standing beside a flywheel the size of a mountain. It is massive, heavy, rusted in place. Your dreams are on the other side. You push with all your might. Nothing happens. Not a centimeter. You push again. Still nothing. This is the beginning. This is the hardest part. Most people walk away here. They blame the weight of the flywheel. They never understand the secret. Momentum is not found. It is built. Action creates energy. You are waiting to feel motivated. You are waiting for that magical day when you spring out of bed, bursting with energy and clarity, ready to conquer the world. Stop waiting. That day is a fairy tale. Motivation is not the cause of action. It is the result of it. You must fundamentally rewire your understanding of cause and effect. Action is the spark. Motivation is the fire. You do not get a fire and then add a spark. You create a spark, and that spark ignites everything. Feeling low on energy? Act. Feeling uninspired? Act. Feeling overwhelmed? Act. The action itself, no matter how small, generates the energy you are waiting for. You can't think your way into momentum. You must act your way into it. Think of Newton's first law. An object at rest stays at rest. An object in motion stays in motion. You are that object. The initial force required to overcome the inertia of rest is immense. But once you are moving, the same amount of effort produces far greater results. The law doesn't say an object that feels motivated stays in motion. It says an object in motion stays in motion. Your feelings are irrelevant. Your motion is everything. You can't think your way into momentum. You must act your way into it. So how do you generate that initial brutal push? You don't try to move the whole mountain at once. The domino effect of small wins. You will not start by writing a book. You will start by writing one sentence. You will not start by building a business. You will start by sending one email. You will not start by getting in shape. You will start by doing one push-up. This is the strategy of the domino effect. A single, tiny domino can topple one twice its size, which can topple one twice its size, creating a chain reaction of unstoppable force. Your small actions are those dominoes. The goal is not the size of the first action. The goal is the chain reaction. The goal is to create a cascade of confidence. Make your bed. That's a win. Send that thank you email. That's a win. Clear your desk. That's a win. Each one is a click of the flywheel. Each one is a tiny proof of competence you deliver to your subconscious. It sends a message. I am someone who gets things done. This message, repeated dozens of times a day, builds a new identity. Stack wins. No matter how small, do not despise the small beginning. It is the only beginning there is. The grand gesture is unsustainable. The small, repeated action is unstoppable. Your daily mandate is to create a list of tiny, achievable tasks and then execute them relentlessly. You are building a wall one brick at a time. Each brick laid is a victory. Stack wins. No matter how small, this philosophy only works if it is relentless. It requires a new law you must live by. Never break the chain. Consistency is the engine of miracles. Intensity is a flamethrower. It burns bright and fast. Consistency is the sun. It powers everything, every single day, without fail. Your focus must shift from the volume of your action to the consistency of your motion. The never break the chain philosophy is simple. You commit to a minimum viable action every single day without exception. For a writer, it's 200 words. For a runner, it's 5 minutes. For a musician, it's 10 minutes of scales. The amount is almost irrelevant. The unbroken chain is everything. The chain is a visual, psychological representation of your commitment. Breaking it is a betrayal of self. Maintaining it is a daily deposit into your identity. Why is this so powerful? Because motion, even tiny motion, creates a gravitational pull. It attracts ideas, opportunities, and energy. A body in motion is magnetic. A body at rest is inert. When you are in motion, you see solutions. When you are stagnant, you see only problems. Motion creates momentum. Momentum creates miracles. The miracle isn't the 200 words you wrote on Tuesday. The miracle is the book that is finished in a year. The miracle isn't the 5-minute run. The miracle is the transformation of your health and energy over 6 months. The small daily action is the seed. The unbroken chain is the water and sunlight. The miracle is the harvest. Motion creates momentum. Momentum creates miracles. So let's be clear. Stop waiting for a feeling that comes after the doing. You can't think your way into momentum. You must act your way into it. Forget grand gestures and embrace the power of the tiny victory. Stack wins. No matter how small, and protect your progress with ruthless consistency. Motion creates momentum. Momentum creates miracles. Your flywheel is now spinning. It is creating its own energy. But to steer this energy, you need a system. A simple, brutal, repeatable loop for making progress. The next chapter gives you that engine. Chapter 7. Decide, act, adjust, repeat. Listen to that sound. That is the sound of progress. It is not a grand symphony. It is not a chaotic explosion. It is a loop, a relentless, predictable, powerful cycle. This is the engine of your new life. Everything else is just commentary. You have been trying to solve a complex equation for every decision. You've been seeking a unique, perfect solution for every problem. This is why you are stuck. Complexity paralyzes. Simplicity empowers. From this moment forward, you have only one system, the infinite loop of progress. Forget the 10-step plans. Forget the complicated productivity porn. There are only 4 words you need to remember. 4 steps that form an unbreakable cycle of creation. Decide, act, adjust, repeat. This is the operating system for every domain of your life. Your career, decide on a goal, act on it, adjust from the feedback, repeat the process. Your health, decide on a meal, act by eating it, adjust based on how you feel. Repeat. Your relationships, decide to connect, act by reaching out, adjust your communication. Repeat. This loop is universal. This loop is infallible. This is the loop. Live inside it. The loop is designed to keep you in motion. It makes stagnation impossible. You are always deciding, always acting, always learning, always continuing. There is no final destination where you get to stop. There is only the rhythm of the loop. Your job is not to reach the end. Your job is to fall in love with the cycle of progress itself. This is the loop. Live inside it. The first step, the decision, is where most loops break. You strive for perfection. You seek a guarantee. This is your enemy. Speed over perfect accuracy. You are waiting for 100% certainty. You are waiting for all the data to be in, for every variable to be known. By the time you have that, the opportunity is gone. The world moves at the speed of action, not the speed of contemplation. In the military, they understand this. A good plan executed with violence now is better than a perfect plan executed next week. In business, the first mover advantage is everything. The company that launches a viable product now and iterates will always dominate the company that waits for perfection. Your life is no different. You must shift from a mindset of get it right to get it going. A good decision now is better than a perfect decision never. The 70% rule is your new law. When you have 70% of the information you feel you need, you decide. You act. You trust that the remaining 30% will be revealed through the action itself. Action generates clarity that thinking never can. Waiting for 100% is not diligence. It is cowardice disguised as caution. A good decision now is better than a perfect decision never. This requires a fundamental rewiring of your identity. You must see yourself as a person of decisive action. Bias towards action is a moral imperative. This is not a personality trait. It is not something you are or are not. This is a duty, a non-negotiable responsibility you have to your own potential. Every moment you spend in indecision is a theft from your future self. You are stealing from the person you are meant to become. Indecision is not neutrality. Indecision is a choice. It is the most damaging choice you can make. Indecision is a decision to remain stagnant. When you fail to decide, you are not avoiding a mistake. You are making the ultimate mistake, the mistake of inaction. You are choosing to let the world happen to you, instead of you happening to the world. This is a betrayal of your gifts. You have a choice. Be the cause or be the effect. There is no middle ground. Indecision is a decision to remain stagnant. Frame every moment of hesitation in these terms. By not deciding, I am actively choosing to stay exactly where I am. By not acting, I am voting for my current reality over my desired one. This is the moral weight of your inaction. It is not harmless. It is a silent rebellion against your own destiny. Indecision is a decision to remain stagnant. So let's be clear. Your system is simple, brutal, and eternal. Decide, act, adjust, repeat. This is the loop. Live inside it. Perfection is the enemy of progress. Speed is your ultimate weapon. A good decision now is better than a perfect decision never, and your commitment to this is a duty, not a preference. Indecision is a decision to remain stagnant. You are now a machine of progress. But even a machine must be aware of its greatest threat. Not a breakdown, but a quiet, seductive promise of a future that never comes. The next chapter declares war on that promise. Chapter 8. The Tyranny of Someday. Someday. It's the most comfortable word in the English language. It feels like a promise. It feels like hope. It is neither. It is a life sentence. It is the quiet, respectable way you bury your dreams without ever having to admit they're dead. You have a someday list. You know it. Someday I'll start the business. Someday I'll get in shape. Someday I'll write the book. Someday I'll travel the world. This list is not a plan. It is a graveyard. Each item is a tombstone for a potential life you were too cowardly to live. It is time to read the epitaphs, and then to resurrect them. Someday is a lie. Let's be brutally, unforgivably clear. Someday is not a day on the calendar. It is a fantasy. A psychological trick you play on yourself to avoid the discomfort of today. It is the place where dreams go to die a slow, painless death from irrelevance. You tuck your ambitions away in someday because it relieves you of the pressure to act now. What is the real translation of someday? It is never. It is the admission that you are not willing to pay the price today, so you pretend you will pay it tomorrow. But tomorrow never comes. It is always today. And your someday list just gets longer, heavier, and more bitter. Someday is not a day on the calendar. It is a thief of dreams. This thief is stealing your life, one comfortable tomorrow at a time. It convinces you that the future is a real place you will eventually arrive at. It is not. The future is a fantasy. The present is your only point of power, the preciousness of now. You operate under the delusion of infinite time. You believe there is always a tomorrow, a next year, a later. This is the most dangerous assumption you can hold. Your time is the only resource that is truly, utterly non-renewable. Every second that passes is gone forever. You can get more money. You can get more friends. You can get a new job. You cannot get more time. This is a memento mori, a reminder of your own death. Do not look away. Your life is a rapidly depleting hourglass. The grains are falling right now, and you are spending them on someday. The future is a fantasy. The present is your only point of power. There is one question that shatters the illusion of someday. One question you must ask yourself about every item on that list. If not now, when? If you are not willing to take the first tiny, terrifying step now, what magical set of circumstances do you believe will appear in the future? What switch will flip? What permission slip will you be granted? It won't happen. The conditions will never be perfect. The timing will never be right. You have a choice, act now or admit you never will. The future is a fantasy. The present is your only point of power. This is not a philosophical discussion. It is a tactical one. It requires an immediate physical response. Schedule your breakthrough. The antidote to someday is not motivation. It is a calendar entry. It is a specific time and a specific microscopic action. The vagueness of someday is what gives it power. You must destroy it with specificity. Here is your command, and it is non-negotiable. Within the next 24 hours of finishing this chapter, you will do this. Take one item from your someday list. Just one. The one that scares you the most or excites you the most. Then, you will open your calendar. You will schedule a time, a specific, non-negotiable block, to execute the first physical action. This is not work on my business. This is spend 25 minutes researching business name availability. This is not get in shape. This is walk for 20 minutes at 7 a.m. tomorrow. This is not write a book. This is write 100 words at 8 p.m. tonight. You are not building the whole cathedral. You are laying one single brick, but you are scheduling the bricklaying. Turn someday into today. This act is a profound declaration of war on your old self. It is you stating, with the cold, hard evidence of a scheduled appointment, that the dream is no longer a future fantasy. It is a present-day project. You are pulling it out of the ethereal world of someday and planting it firmly in the real world of today. Turn someday into today. So let's be clear. Someday is a lie you tell yourself to avoid the work of today. Someday is not a day on the calendar. It is a thief of dreams. Your power exists only in the present moment. The future is a fantasy. The present is your only point of power. Your only way out is to schedule your ambition. Turn someday into today. You have reclaimed your time. You have scheduled your action. But to ensure your success, you must now engineer your world. You must build an environment that makes victory inevitable. The next chapter is your blueprint. Chapter 9. Your environment is your willpower. You are in a war. A silent, daily war for your attention, your energy, and your future. And you are trying to fight this war with willpower. Willpower is a soldier that gets tired, gets bored, and eventually deserts. You cannot win a war with a single weary soldier. It is time to stop fighting yourself and start engineering your victory. It is time to build a fortress. You are a product of your ecosystem. Willpower is a finite resource. It is a battery you drain with every decision, every temptation resisted, every minor annoyance endured. By the time you need it for the important things, to work on your project, to go to the gym, to avoid junk food, the battery is dead. You blame yourself. You call yourself lazy. You are wrong. The problem is not your character. The problem is your environment. Your environment is constantly sending you cues, shaping your behavior, pulling you toward or away from your goals. Trying to use willpower to fight your environment is like trying to swim upstream in a raging river. It is exhausting and ultimately futile. The only sustainable strategy is to change the river. Don't rely on discipline. Design your environment. You must make the right action the easiest action. You must make the wrong action difficult or impossible. This is not about being strong. This is about being smart. It is about using your initial burst of willpower to set up systems that then run on autopilot, preserving your mental energy for the battles that truly matter. Don't rely on discipline. Design your environment. The first step in this design process is a ruthless audit. You must become a forensic analyst of your own life. The triggers and friction audit. Your bad habits do not emerge from a vacuum. They are triggered by specific cues in your environment. The phone on your desk triggers the check social media habit. The junk food on your counter triggers the mindless eating habit. The comfortable couch triggers the watch Netflix instead of read habit. Your mission is to find these triggers and eliminate them. Then, you must add friction to the bad habits and remove friction from the good ones. This is mechanical, not mystical. Start with your phone. Delete the social media and entertainment apps. Not just off your home screen. Delete them. You can download them again if you really need to, but that extra step of friction will break the mindless reflex. Move the charging station out of your bedroom. Want to scroll in bed? Now you have to get up. That's friction. For your health, prepay for a class you can't cancel. That's financial and social friction against skipping. Fill your fridge with pre-cut vegetables. That's less friction for eating well. Keep your running shoes by the front door. That's less friction for exercising. Your environment must work for you, not against you. Remove the triggers. Increase the friction, but your environment is more than physical objects. It is a living informational ecosystem. The most powerful part of your environment is the people in it. Curate your influences. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. This is not a motivational quote. This is a biological and psychological fact. You adopt their language, their attitudes, their ambitions, and their standards. Your brain is wired for mirroring and mimicry. You are constantly, unconsciously, becoming more like the people you surround yourself with. So look at your inner circle. Be brutally honest. Do they uplift you or drain you? Do they challenge you or comfort you? Do they take action or just complain? You have a choice. You are not a tree. You can move. You can create distance. You must. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Choose them like your life depends on it. This extends to the media you consume. The endless scroll of negativity. The talking heads selling fear and outrage. The influencers performing a life of fake success. This is mental pollution. It is shaping your mindset more than you know. You must perform a ruthless curation. Unfollow, unsubscribe, block. Your mind is a sacred space. Guard its gates with your life. Fill it with the voices of builders, not complainers. Of action takers, not commentators. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Choose them like your life depends on it. So let's be clear. Willpower is a trap. Stop fighting yourself and start building a world that supports you. Don't rely on discipline. Design your environment. Your first task is a forensic audit of your triggers. Remove the triggers, increase the friction, and your most important duty is to curate your inner circle. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Choose them like your life depends on it. You have built your fortress. You have engineered your world for success. Now one final upgrade remains. The ultimate mindset shift that turns you from a passive product of your environment into the active, unstoppable cause of your reality. The final chapter. Chapter 10. Become the cause, not the effect. This is it. The final frontier. Not a new tactic, not a new habit, but a new identity. Everything you have learned, the action, the execution, the discomfort, the momentum, has been leading to this single fundamental shift. The shift from being a leaf in the wind to being the wind itself. You stand at a crossroads you have been at your entire life, but now you finally see it. One path is well-trodden, comfortable, and passive. The other is uncharted, demanding, and active. Your entire life has been a question. Now you must become the answer. The final mindset shift. Most people live in a reactive reality. The alarm clock rings and they react. An email arrives and they react. A problem emerges and they react. Their life is a constant, exhausting series of responses to external stimuli. They are the effect. Things happen to them. Their mood, their success, their day is determined by outside forces. You are being called to a causative reality. This is where you become the cause. You do not wait for the alarm. You set it to serve your purpose. You do not just answer emails. You send the emails that shape your trajectory. You do not just solve problems. You create new challenges that force you to grow. You happen to things. This is the ultimate choice, the only one that truly matters. Every moment, in every situation, you must ask yourself the defining question. Are you the cause in your life, or are you the effect? The reactive life is a life of excuses. My boss made me stressed. The traffic made me late. The economy ruined my business. This is the language of a victim. The causative life has no room for this. It operates on a different principle entirely. Radical ownership of everything. To become the cause, you must take 100% responsibility for everything. Your outcomes, your reactions, your situation, everything. This is not about blame. This is not about fault. This is about power. Blame looks backward and asks, whose fault is this? Responsibility looks forward and asks, what am I going to do about it? When you take radical ownership, you reclaim your power from everyone and everything. You realize that even if you didn't cause the problem, you are 100% responsible for your response to it. Your reaction is your domain. Your next action is your creation. This is the most empowering stance a human being can take. If it's to be, it's up to me. Your business is struggling? Own it. What can you adjust? What new action can you take? Your relationship is strained. Own your part in it. What conversation have you been avoiding? Your health is declining? Own your choices. What one thing can you change today? There is no one coming to save you. There is only you, building your future brick by brick, action by action. If it's to be, it's up to me. This level of ownership forges a new identity. It forges a force of nature, living as a force of nature. This is the culmination. You are no longer a passenger in your life, white-knuckling the ride. You are the driver. You are not a tenant, complaining about the building. You are the architect. You are the creative, unstoppable force that shapes your reality through relentless, intentional action. Look at everything you have overcome to get here. The paralysis, the debate, the comfort, the performance, the fear of failure. You have tools now. You have a loop. You have momentum. You have a designed environment. These are not just strategies. They are the proof that you are not a product of your circumstances. You are the creator of them. A force of nature does not complain about the weather. It prepares for it, or it moves. It does not wait for permission. It grows, it flows, it acts according to its own nature. This is your birthright, to act with intention, to build with purpose, to leave a mark on the world that could only have come from you. You are not a product of your circumstances. You are the creator of them. This is not a one-time decision. It is a daily, hourly, minute-by-minute practice. It is the constant application of everything in this book. It is the relentless pursuit of action over inaction, of cause over effect. It is you, standing in your full power, declaring to the universe, I am here to build. I am here to happen. I am the cause. You are not a product of your circumstances. You are the creator of them. The cello note resolves, transforming into a clear, high, resonant tone that hangs in the air. So let's be clear. The final question that defines your existence. Are you the cause in your life, or are you the effect? The principle that gives you ultimate power. If it's to be, it's up to me, and the identity you must now claim without hesitation or apology. You are not a product of your circumstances. You are the creator of them. The blueprint is complete. The map is drawn. The library is behind you. The path is under your feet. You are the cause. Now go and create. The blueprint is complete. The theory is over. You now know the truth you've always felt in your bones. That preparation without execution is self-deception. That your comfort zone is a cage you built yourself. That someday is the most dangerous word in your vocabulary. The map is burned. The library is closed. There is no more debate. There is only the loop. Decide, act, adjust, repeat. Failure is not your enemy. Inaction is. Your environment is not your prison. It is your design. You are no longer the effect in your story. From this moment forward, you are the cause. So here is your final instruction. It is not a suggestion. It is a command. In the next 60 minutes, you will take one single, physical, undeniable action towards one thing that matters to you. Not tomorrow. Not after you've thought about it. In the next 60 minutes, one email, one phone call, one signed-up form, one declared no to something that drains you, one declared yes to something that terrifies you.